Hey everybody, Ken Coscia here with an exciting announcement. For the first time in my 49-year career, I almost can't believe I'm saying this. We're going virtual. That's right. Silva Method, that's for years, decades now, been only available in person in live events, is now available to you virtually. And there's some number of distinctions I want to make very clear to you. You can thank what's going on during this crazy period of time, during what everyone's experienced with COVID globally. Live events have been basically shut down, or with such serious restrictions, they're just not very practical. Well, the good news is, a little over a month ago, I went live virtually with the Life and Intuition System, our core foundation program that started all. It's what replaced the basic lecture series that we started with in 1966. And it was fantastic. I admit, I was skeptical, I was resistant. I'm a great believer in live, and I still am a great believer in live, up front, up close, and personal like that. And yet, because of the limitations and because of what's going on, and all the requests we had from people like you concerned about their health, their well-being, and these skills are probably, that you learn in Silva, are probably more necessary than ever before. So I'm happy to say I gave it a shot. I did my first one the end of June, and it was unbelievably excellent. And I'm basing it on what people told me. There were graduates reviewing, there were new people, and the interaction, the engagement, the results, the transformation, everything that you would expect. Now, of course, full disclosure, I can't promise to you what you get when we're up close and personal in a live event in person. But I gotta say, we came really close. And in fact, what I want to talk to you about is some distinctions that really set it apart from pre-recorded lessons, which are very convenient. You have access to them 24/7. But who do you ask your questions? And that's so important. If you noticed, if you have a question and you're learning something for the first time and you're a little bit confused, if it's not answered, what happens? We get overwhelmed, we get discouraged, and unfortunately, most people give up. Can you relate? Also, with the pre-recorded lessons, you're watching, but you don't have the same engagement that you can now, thanks to things like Zoom, where we have breakout rooms. So let me tell you a little bit about it and why I'm so excited about it and thrilled. Because at first I was really disappointed. A few months thinking, oh God, we're screwed. What are we going to do with this? But I have to say, I've had a change of heart, and during this period of time especially, we're going to make these available to you virtually. So here's some of the changes that I'd like to share with you, that in masterminding with a number of my Silva fellow instructors, people across the globe, typically when we do a live event in person, I personally limit them to up to 24, 25 people. Why? So that you get my undivided attention. Everybody has a chance to ask multiple questions. We're interacting throughout, before the training, during the training, after the training. We know each other on a first-name basis. It adds to a level of intimacy that allows for a high level of trust and concern, because the Silva Method, the program, is really about transformation. It's about integrating what you know. It's about making connections. It's about taking command of your life, and frankly, that's an inside game. It's not like reading a book. You can read, there's some great books out there. There's some great motivational presentations. There are incredible talks on YouTube, and you name it. What they lack, though, is the integration, the making it a part of you, literally, I can say this now, the rewiring of your brain and creating new neural pathways. And that's what the Silva Method has always been about. Our program is based on a proprietary process that Mr. Jose Silva spent 22 years researching, and that we've perfected in over 54 years across the globe in 100 and something countries, millions and millions of people. It's the most copied, most imitated program. So we have a lot of experience. There was a time when we were the only game in town. When I started in '71, I'm the senior most instructor. I serve now as the lead instructor, international training director. I'm the guy who Jose, bless his heart, chose out of probably 1,000 instructors globally to serve on his elite staff, traveling the globe to conduct specialized advanced training for our Silva graduates, our our community, and to also train and certify our instructors. Quite an honor. I admit, at first I was like, yeah, whoa, why me? Well, I did my homework, I researched, I studied, I practiced, I mentally rehearsed, I used all my visualization skills, and a lot of that now is history. And it's been a great, great pleasure and honor to continue to do that. So some of the things that, why I think they're so important is, now today there's so many choices, so much available to you, to me, for our training. And I want to honor you and honor your time and give you some specific information that will help you to decide if this is for you, if this is something you want to participate in. Because it's maybe, frankly, not for everybody. So if you know anything about the Silva Method and you're already a fan, or maybe you're a graduate already, or you're a new person, you've had to go through the live training, it's totally different than reading the books. There's lots of books about the Silva Method. There are lots of home study, like condensed versions of Silva and online pre-recorded lessons that different companies offer. Still not the same when you're engaged one-on-one with an instructor in a small group, which gives you the effect of one-on-one. So in these virtual classes, I'm using Zoom and I'm limiting them to 25 people so that I'm there with you on one screen watching you during the meditations, which is so important, so that I can help you, I can watch how you're doing, I can advise you and coach you all throughout the process. If you ever practice any kind of meditation technique, it's common for the mind to wander aimlessly, it's common to fall asleep, it's common to not have a focus or know what to do. All of that becomes history when you've got the right training and you've got somebody who has a level of mastery with the skills and can pass that on to you, can mentor you through the process. So for that reason, even on the Zoom, so that I don't have to scroll through all the screens, I've got you right there interacting. Everybody will be on, I'm on gallery view so I can watch you. You're on speaker view so that you can watch me as I'm presenting. We'll have breakout rooms. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of this, because invariably, especially with new people, questions come up, concerns, things, idiosyncrasy people experience that need clarification. And I found all too often that people tell me they've read the books, they got good value, or they went to the pre-recorded lessons, etc., and they got lost, and there was nobody to ask a question. They had to wait weeks or months even, or send an email and hope to get an answer quickly. All of that, again, is in the past because these are there. The other thing is usually they're all-day sessions. Usually I do these 9 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. Of course, we take pauses, short pauses. But personally, I know others are doing this on Zoom. But I've experienced it, and I wonder if you have, Zoom fatigue. When you're in front of a computer screen all day, it's fatiguing. And I've heard many presenters say, I can go all day in a live event on stage with hundreds or more people, and I do some Zoom sessions for 90 minutes, 2 hours, and I'm more exhausted than doing the live event. There's a lot of reasons for that. It is a bit much. I'm not knocking it. I know some are doing that, and that's great. God bless them. And they'll take pauses, etc. However, I want to make sure that I give you and you have the highest possible impact. So for that reason, I've spread it out. I'm a great believer in 4 days. It's like a retreat. When you do 4 days in a row, absolutely. There's an incredible amount of transformation. So the schedule I came up with, I worked out and gave a lot of thought to, and the result was very encouraging, deeply inspiring. Monday through Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. to 1, 2-hour session. Take an hour break, and then we go back 2 p.m. to 4:30. And we do that 4 days in a row. That would be for Life System, the first 2 days. And by the way, the Silva Method was designed as a 4-day training. Not 2 days, not 2.5, not 3 days, not 5.5, 4 days. That's what Mr. Silva put together, and I'll spare you the details, but he carefully researched over the 22 years, and we've done this globally, what would have the highest impact. Because some people obviously learn faster. We all know that. Some people need more time. But you don't know who you are. I don't know for sure. No trainer does. So we're aiming to make sure that everybody integrates the material. And it's been our experience, if you go through from start to finish, all the exercises, all the lessons, all the practice, we do a lot of practicing with the dynamic meditation, a lot of practicing with the intuition. So every step of the way, you're getting experience. You're able to say, there's something to this. It builds your confidence, it builds your trust, and it just progressively gets better. So in 2007, we had some name changes, and we, working with companies like Mind Valley, came up with Life System, Intuition System. And Laura Silva Quesada, who was president at the time, and it was her brainchild working with Mind Valley, and we just kind of made some shifts, some restructuring, but still honoring his research, honoring the proprietary process, honoring what we know works, so there's not a guessing game, etc. Then you'll have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off to practice. As a bonus, I'll send you some of the one of the guided meditations, the most important, called the Big Relax, as one of the bonuses, so you don't have to purchase it, with a special sound called the Alpha Healing Sound, and I'll ask you to practice with it. Each night, I'll send you a quick email with an overview of what we covered, key points. Each day as we finish, I'll remind you, we just covered, you're going to get a manual. Each manual is about 100 pages. You get 2 different manuals. So everything that's important and necessary to remember is there. So your note-taking is minimal so that you can more pay attention to how you feel, what's going on. Pay more attention to how you relate to the material. Again, that's essential. Frankly, it's necessary, not just essential. So I'll give you an assignment. Say, we just covered today pages 1 through 22. Please read that tonight. Then in the morning, I'll send you the link again, although you don't really need it, but the link, the unique link for you to get on to the class with me, but also then a preview. So we know spaced repetition, previewing, learning, and then the process of entering your alpha level in the meditation helps to accelerate the growth, and then reviewing again so that you have a better shot of integrating it, making it more conscious, so you can more consciously recall it and experience it. So you're going to get right that. And that's one of the things I have to admit, that because of what I felt was necessary to prevent Zoom fatigue, it turned out to be a plus because we're getting the spaced repetition. Then we come back the following Monday. So this is starting August 24th to be the next. And as time goes by, we'll have others. And then we come back the next Monday, Monday through Thursday, same time, Eastern Standard, 11 to 1 hour break, and 2 to 4:30. And the first week, about 35% of our time is spent me guiding you through the dynamic meditations. And what that means is you're learning how to enjoy all the health benefits to boost your immune system. So important now. When your immune system is strong, how to get out of fear, how to create this new state of being so that you are not just pumped and enthusiastic and inspired, but also so that your body goes into balance. Homeostasis, medically it's called, so that you are less vulnerable to infection, disease. If you just come to the class for that and you practice these techniques, you couldn't put a value on it. So helpful. So we're practicing with those exercises. But what Mr. Silva also found was, once you reach that state, and it takes a little bit of time and practice, you can then think, focus, visualize, mentally rehearse, use specialized exercises, and not lose it. So it's a step-by-step progression. So you're going to learn how to sleep better at night, how to get back to sleep if you have trouble sleeping, how to reduce levels of anxiety, how to fill yourself with hope and confidence, how to think more clearly and focus, how to learn faster and easier. If you're reinventing yourself, and today we all are, I'm reinventing myself too, and how I help my clients, how I help my students. You'll find what we do, what we call the 3 fingers technique, and an accelerated principle that's been there's been so much imitation of it. Because you'll find that you will learn, it's not quick fix, but you will learn faster, you will learn easier. So if you're learning new strategies, new skills, new training, starting a new job, new career, or even new hobbies, you'll be able to use this technique to learn faster and easier. You'll be able to self-improve, overcome fears, phobias. So, I could go on and on, I won't, but check it out. There's so many different practical step-by-step techniques. How to have more energy, how to manage pain. It's very common when people go through the Silva training with me to report they come in, they've got aches and pains in their body, some of them very serious, they're medicated, some without. And by the time we complete, usually even halfway through, it's been diminished, the pain, by 30, 50% or more. And I have to say, frequently, completely by the time we finish. So it's not magic. These tools, when you put your body back into balance, into homeostasis, the body will heal itself. And many of those factors. So pain, relaxation techniques, and pain management kind of go hand in hand in helping with that. You're going to learn how to put your subconscious to work, to be more, while you sleep, to be more innovative. And then how to use your intuition practically to make better, wiser decisions, to understand yourself and others better. And that's what the second week is about, when we come back, what we call intuition system. And it is perhaps, in the truest sense of the word, a training to develop, to awaken and train your intuition. I know no other program like it. Even in the Silva organization, Mr. Silva experimented and created other programs in the final stages of his life. You've heard of some of these programs. They're excellent. They were created by him. Still not like the brainchild of the original 4-day program that he put together. That is my passion, my love. And what's important about it is not only are you practicing with me throughout the class, in the class after, so that you can get to the point that, people tell me, this is the best night's sleep I ever had using this technique in months, sometimes years. That helps build your confidence. It's not just woo-woo. You know that there's something to this. And when you have confidence, you have more courage to do more. It's a confidence-competence loop. You get a little more competent because you improve the skill, and that gives you the confidence to be more courageous to try something more out. And I'm going to help you with that step by step. When we work with the intuition, though, right from the beginning on day one, you're going to practice with it. You're going to have exercises where I don't like using the word test, you'll be assessing, self-assessment on your intuition. See how you're doing based on the training so far. And then I'll coach you some more, and we'll take a look at what worked, what didn't work. Maybe you only got 10%, maybe you got 80%. How can you improve it? Was your logic getting in the way? Were you wishfully thinking? Did your logic confuse you? Can be very, very confusing working with intuition. Have you noticed? So you're going to take all the guesswork out of it, and you're going to have very real experiences. We'll practice some more, train, develop some tools. We're going to work on then using our intuition to be on purpose in our lives, and understanding our mission, our sense of purpose and contribution. I think today it's wonderful. There's so many people seeking that out, wanting to make a positive contribution to the world. And God only knows we need so much of that, don't we, guys? However, then you'll practice with things like psychometry. And although it's Zoom, there's some limitations what we can do because we're doing it virtually, through the video. But I came up with some ideas and experiments we'll do where you'll be able to work with what they call your subjective mind. You'll be able to exercise how to get information beyond your 5 senses. How to get information that you didn't see, hear, touch, taste, or smell, that you didn't get through logic, that we call gut feeling, hunch, inner wisdom. And you'll get immediate feedback. So it's deliberate practice. When you look at all the research on peak performance, that is proven through the research to be the most effective way to develop any new skill. Mr. Silva didn't know the terminology. He wasn't aware of that research at the time. But now I look back and say, whoo, the old man was so far ahead of the times. So much of the research coming out in neuroscience is backing up what he was doing more than 50 years ago. We've been teaching like forever with this. So this deliberate practice means you do an exercise where you're asked to enter your meditative, what we call alpha state, and you're asked to use your intuition to come up with verifiable information about someone or something, a situation, a project we're working on, games that we play, and then you get immediate feedback. And sometimes, even if you're way off, you begin to discern, okay, why was I off? What's the difference that made the difference? Very important. Keep that in mind, whether you do Silva or not. And then when you nailed it and you were on, and you begin to recognize, was it a feeling? Was it a feeling in my body? Was it a thought? Was it a sense of knowing? Did I have a visual pattern? Did I hear something? Everybody retrieves, accesses the information. You're almost like this giant radio station, a receiver and sender. We're always projecting, right? You've heard this energy, and we're always receiving. But we don't necessarily consciously recognize the signals we're picking up, and sometimes we're either not aware of it or we don't know how to interpret it. So let me tell you, regardless of what some psychics may say, nobody's 100%. It's a matter of learning how to interpret the impressions, and that's a skill. It is truly a trainable skill. And I stay with Silva all these years because I know of no one or anything that's come even close to it. Even some of the newer Silva programs that are kind of mini workshops, condensed versions of the original with that. And then you'll have a session, not once, not twice, but as many as a half a dozen or more times, even virtually, where you'll be asked to enter, to quiet yourself, to alter your consciousness, enter the alpha state. It's a sleep-like state, but you're awake mentally. It's a lot of fun. Feels good. It relaxes you mentally, physically. And then you'll be asked to come up with, again, verifiable information. We call it caseworking. And you'll get, again, deliberate practice, immediate feedback. And you'll leave after these 2 weeks with me, after these sessions, with unquestionable evidence that you can do it. And you'll be giving guidelines and resources to use to improve it, to improve the skill, to enhance it. And folks, I want to respect you and honor you. I'm appalled by some of the quick fix mentality out there. I'm appalled by some of the marketing that you read it. You would think it was the second coming of Buddha, Moses, Jesus, Abraham, Allah, and everybody else. That's incredible marketing. There's more to it. Nothing is a quick fix. But we can accelerate the growth. We can move it along when you've got the right training. You've got somebody with the level of mastery who can guide you, and skills. And this is a proven process you can count on. And I'd love to have you in the class. I hope I get to meet you. I hope that you'll work with me with that. So some of the things I also want to share with you too is then when you finish, something that I've heard, I've experienced, I invest a lot. I'm constantly attending virtual events. When we could, I was constantly going to live events, learning from the best of the best, looking at what's going on, learning what we can. I'm a voracious reader. I've been my whole life. There are books all over my house. We're running out of room. We've had to donate them to the library. I haven't got space for some of these things. But what I want to say to you is all that is in vain, and all that is meaningless unless we can make use of it. Can you see that in your life? And too often people go to a seminar, a training, and they feel great and they're happy. They made some great connections with some wonderful people. But then a week, a month later, it's a wonderful memory. And nothing's really changed. And I've heard that too often from people. And the fact is, even with the Silva Method, support is necessary. Without that, you slip back in your old patterns. So it's important to be involved. Here's a tip for you: in a community of people of like minds who you can freely discuss things, you can freely, openly talk about your experiences and share ideas. Very important. Make sure you have that. Whether you come to the Silva Method or whatever training you do, it's necessary. Second, I'm going to then, within a week, 2 weeks tops, after the class, just with you in the group. So I'm limiting the Zoom class to 25, and just for you, we'll have another live Zoom call with the group, me coaching you, mentoring, answering questions. You'll have access. You can pick my brain, help me guide you, help you to customize it. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you a free 30-minute, usually they're more, frankly, call, coaching, mentoring call, where I'll help you to customize, make sure it's clear to you how to get the most out of the Silva training, how to take these invaluable tools and techniques and apply them in your life so that you can create a life of your design. Then on top of that, as more added value bonuses, it doesn't stop there. I'm constantly creating content, constantly sending out on my vlog page, whether it be on YouTube or my blog page, social media, video lessons. You'll have access to them. I've also put together a video that's over an hour. It's either an hour and a half, but it's at least an hour of me reviewing the program for you as a graduate, key points, key tools, techniques, and helping you to develop applications, how to utilize it, how to work with it. Then I'll also send you MP3s that you can download to any device that go well over an hour, similarly, but a different presentation, reviewing and helping you to understand the material. And it goes on, it doesn't stop there. The other thing that I think is so important is, with due respect, I really mean it with due respect, but the fact of the matter is I've seen so many come in this space. They come, they take the money, they're flesh in the pan, and then they're gone. And here we are, the Silva Method, 54 years later, still in the community, still serving you, our public, with our programs, our instructors, offering support and encouragement, and that's so important. So when you go through the training in this current format, you become a member for life. And the training fee that you pay is a one-time fee to come back and review, which you'll want to do. It's like the best thing you could do. It really is, because you integrate it more, you get practice, you hear it differently, you have a different perspective, you come back with a more open mind. You come back saying, hey, I know this works, but how can I make it work better? All you do is pay a seat charge, and the seat charge is usually about 10% of whatever the fee is as a new person. I mean, it's a great deal. You can't get more than that. So we don't charge. There's no VIP fees, to sit up front. Everybody's a VIP with that. And you'll want to come back. So when you do the virtual with me, yes, you're going to get your certificate, you have your manuals, and you can come back, you have the review, just pay the seat charge. However, I'm also going to give you a complimentary ticket once we go back live that's good for 1 year, just for you, and we'll waive the seat charge. So you save a good $100 or more, and you can come back and recharge your battery. And by the way, some of the successes, just had a graduate, she was reviewing, I think it was her maybe third time, no more than that, might have only been second, as I remember, but well, actually I do have permission, so I can use her name. We call her Angelica, and she went through, and I just contacted her now, and there's some things going on. She said, I can't do it, I'm so preoccupied. She's in a new relationship. I just got 2 job offers I'm excited about, where nothing was happening before. And this is the most common thing I hear from people. They go through the training. One of the new people in this last training, I have to check with her, so I won't use her name, was an attorney. And I see her now, we just, in the Zoom follow-up call, she was glowing. And what I hear from people, it's like all of a sudden I'm thinking more clearly, I have more focus. It's like the universe has got my back. Things are opportunities that were probably there all along, but I was so stressed, so caught up in fear and anxiety that I didn't recognize them. And I'd like the same for you. So thank you for listening, giving me this opportunity. Somewhere below this video, wherever it appears on this channel, you'll find a link. I invite you to consider coming in to a virtual training with me, or a live, better yet. But for right now, it's going to be a period of time, isn't it, that we're going to be doing these virtually. And I'd be honored to work with you in the class. And I look forward to one day not only seeing you virtually, but to maybe shake your hand, be in the class. Thanks so much for watching. And the website where you can find more information is the Silva Method of Connecticut. I travel all over the world, though. I teach regularly in Chicago area and Connecticut or New England, and I'm invited to go all over the world to do graduate advanced programs to certify new instructors. So no matter where you are, that's the good thing though about virtual, isn't it? Doesn't matter where you are as long as you can make the time. So thanks so much again. I know I said that. This time it's for real.